welcome everybody back to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Holl. This is the Original Rebels Racing League Holl Heating and Sheet Metal Sunday Night Truck Series here at Bristol. This is the final round of the round of 12 here on iRacing, and we are getting ready for 150 laps around, as we saw in the first race, a very tricky half-mile concrete oval. Let's take a look at the points coming into tonight. I wish I could talk a little bit better than I can. Eddie Smith currently at the top of the board. Chris McLean, Christopher Heiner, Jonah Cobert. Cobert, the only driver locked into the next round. Daniel Cunningham, Charles Stevens Jr., Brandon Wallace, and Cody Boehm are your top 8 currently, but Brandon Wallace, Cody Boehm, Mickey Isaac, Josh Oswald, all on the outside looking in, right there on that bubble. Josh Lurkowitz, Tracy Passons, both need a win to move themselves into the next round. So we'll be watching tonight to see who is able to move themselves into the next round here tonight as we get ready to do battle at the last great Coliseum. Daniel Pope currently at the top of the board. Bo Ledbetter sits back in second. Kent Hunley in third. Tracy Passons and Eric Tracy are your top 5 on the board. So a couple new names that we saw last week here tonight towards the top of the board. And looking forward to an awesome race here tonight, much like we saw in the first race. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. It does mean a lot for you to come out and join us here on Sunday nights. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. It really does help us out a ton. As well as visiting the links below at raceepi.com, intensitybroadcasting.com, and thebuttkicker.com. Qualifying getting ready to get underway here tonight. Let's see who our first drivers are to hit the track and get ready to qualify. And it looks like one of our playoff drivers, Cody Boehm, is the first driver out on track. Cody, one of those drivers right there on the bubble. Oh, and loses it there on his outlap. See Josh Oswald making his way around the track right now. Eric Tracy up at the top of the board. Now Chris McLean takes over that top spot. And Oswald's going to call it quits after those 2 laps. Tracy Passons parks it down on the inside. You see Daniel Pope in the 16 coming down into turns 3 and 4. Coming to the white flag. We'll see what he's able to do on his first lap. Currently P2, so he's able to improve on his second lap. He's going to shut off there and only take 1 lap. Richard Allen now coming to the green flag. Through turns 3 and 4 and to the white flag. And Allen is going to jump up into P number 8 to see if he's able to improve on his time here. Across the line, and Richard Allen jumps up to P4. Chris Heiner just took the white flag. He jumps up to 14th. See if he was able to improve on his second lap here. And across the stripe, and Heiner going to stay there in that 15th position. See Bo Ledbetter just making his way out onto the racing surface. Ledbetter coming to the checkered flag. And Bo's going to jump up to the top of the board with a 14.79 to Chris McLean's 14.81. So what a blazing lap. Now we see Kent Hunley out on track. Down into turns 3 and 4. And to the stripe, and Hunley's first lap is going to be good enough for the 17th position. See if he's able to improve on his second lap. Down to the stripe, and Hunley jumps up to P11. Aaron Johnson coming down the backstretch towards turns 3 and 4. Still 4 other drivers yet to qualify after Johnson, who takes the green flag. A little loose off of turn 2, but able to keep his speed up as he goes down into turns 3 and 4. To the stripe, his first lap's going to move him up into the 15th position. Ooh, gets loose there going into turn number 1. And that's going to do it for him. He's going to be back in the 15th position. So not going to be able to get another lap in. We still have 4 drivers left to qualify, including Alex Veith, Mickey Isaac, Kyle Roberts, and Christian Dedman. So while we're waiting for those drivers to hit the racetrack, of course, we'd like to thank our great partners here tonight in the Rebels League that help us out here. Of course, Holl Heating and Sheet Metal, our series sponsor, along with Kinder Farm and Ranch, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Peg Leg Felts, Thunderstruck Super Series, and of course, Kinder Farm and Ranch. And here at Intensity, we'd like to thank our great partner, the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel ultra-low frequency sounds. The products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and improved sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Looks like we might have another truck getting ready to qualify. Looks like Mickey Isaac sitting down at the end of pit road. Not rolling just yet. Of course, I've talked about my Butt Kicker products a few times, and definitely an amazing product. Gives a little feeling of immersion that you can't normally get sitting in an office chair and racing such as myself. But being able to feel the rumple strips, the rev of the engine, when the tires are sliding, when the tires are locked up, it definitely gives you that little seat of the pants feel. It gives you a little feedback immediately. So if you're looking for something a little extra, you can run a single Butt Kicker like I do to give you that seat of the pants feel. You can run either front and back in a dual channel mode, or you can run all 4 channels and have one on each corner of your rig. So check that out, thebuttkicker.com. Another really cool feature they have is they have subwoofers that you can put in or around your couch so you can feel music and movies. So, of course, check that out, thebuttkicker.com. Matt Kleeman says, may the odds be forever in your favor. And as we're getting ready to cut down to the final 8 tonight, it's exactly what we're looking at. A couple drivers as we see Mickey Isaac making his way on the track. Couple drivers right there on the bubble. A couple in must-win situations. We'll look at the points again after qualifying is over. No Neck says his pedals vibrate when he's sliding his tires. You know, it's a great feeling, and the butt kicker does that, although the butt kicker gives it to you right there in the seat of your pants, literally, as Mickey Isaac comes off of turn number 4. And his first lap is going to put him up into the 19th position. We'll see what he's able to do here on his second lap. But yeah, having that haptic feedback definitely makes a big difference when you're in the car, especially being able to feel what I think is really cool, the rumple strips on the road courses. You can feel your seat vibrate, your head actually, I race in VR, so my head actually shakes just like I was in the car. That's how powerful the butt kicker really is. So it's a really, really, really neat thing to have. Let's see what else we have here. Charles Stevens says him and Spencer are going to miss the race tonight as they're heading back from Homestead. Well, you got to see an awesome race today at Homestead Speedway, so well worth the missing the race here tonight, although I do think that might knock Charles Stevens Jr. out of the round of 8. We'll have to see how the race unfolds here tonight. And Paul Patson says he's watching. Paul, thanks for joining us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. We have about 30 seconds left here, so it doesn't look like anybody else is going to be able to get out there and get a qualifying lap in. But we're going to look at these points one last time. And you see Eddie Smith at the top of the board, Chris McLean, Christopher Heiner, Jonah Cobert already locked into the next round with a win. So Daniel Cunningham, Charles Stevens back in 5th. Stevens needing a couple drivers have bad nights for him to advance since he's not racing here tonight. Brandon Wallace, Cody Bohm on that bubble. So Junior, Wallace, Bohm, Isaac, and Oswald on that bubble here tonight, along with Daniel Cunningham as well. So you could put all from drivers 5th on back, all on the bubble, with Josh Lokovitz and Tracy Passons needing a win here tonight to move themselves into the next round. So we're going to take a look at our starting grid here tonight. And your peg leg pull a winner will go to the 8 of Bo Ledbetter, with Chris McLean rolling off from position number 2. Daniel Pope will roll off 3rd with Eric Tracy in the 4th position, then Richard Allen and Brandon Wallace back in row number 3. Daniel Bates, he'll be in row number 4, and Tracy Passons in a must-win situation starting from the 8th position. 9th will be Eddie Smith and Daniel Cunningham back in 10th. Ken Hunley, he'll be rolling off from 11th with Jonah Cobert already locked into the next round in 12th. 13th will be Willie Howells with Ray Page from the 14th position. Aaron Johnson and Cody Bohm will round out row number 8. Mickey Isaac also in a bit of a must-win situation back in 17th, and Josh Oswald in 18th. Christopher Heiner and Kyle Roberts round out your row number 10. Row 11 is Alex Veith and Christian Dedman. And that is going to round out the field here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway, as the field gets lined up here on the front stretch and gets ready to roll for 100 laps around this concrete Coliseum. First race, we only saw 4 cautions for 100 laps, which is impressive at a track here like Bristol. Short track racing, high speeds. We saw 15-second laps in qualifying, so watch for tempers to flare here tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw exactly that. And Bo Ledbetter will be your control car with Chris McLean to his outside. So saw in the first race, the leader had such an advantage on starts and restarts. We'll see if the same falls, or the same speaks true here in the Rebels race. These trucks will go around one more time before we get ready to fire them off here for 100 laps around Bristol Motor Speedway. Of course, as I mentioned, Bristol Motor Speedway has many names as the pace car pulls off onto pit road. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Bristol. Ledbetter already out to the lead. Oh, we already got one around. Jonah Cobert spinning down to the inside. No caution. Caution does not fly, so we stay green. Another one around. Chris McLean around on the front stretch. That will bring out the caution. And we already have our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. As we take a look to see exactly what happened, as there's a couple incidents going on here. Starting with, let's look at our first one here, starting with Jonah Cobert, which did not bring out the yellow, but we see Jonah back here, and there's just a big checkup. Looks like Tracy Passons. Something happened to Passions there in front. Let's rewind just a little bit further and take a look to see what happened to Tracy here. This was on the initial start here, going out into turn. Oh, Tracy looks like he missed a shift going into the corner. A lot of damage for a couple drivers, Passions included. And then coming down the front stretch, we saw Chris McLean getting a piece here. And Chris McLean got turned by the 16 of Daniel Pope, and that is what brought out the actual caution. So we see McLean down on pit road getting tires, getting fixed up. Jonah Cobert also on pit road. Again, Cobert already locked into the next round, so tonight's finish really didn't mean much to him. But Tracy Passons, one of the drivers in a must-win situation, currently sits on pit road trying to get that damage fixed on his machine. And it doesn't look like Tracy hit his reset, so I think he might be in trouble. Yeah, we saw the motor was smoking, so if he didn't have his reset clicked, he could be sitting there for an awfully long time, and you could pretty much all but count him out of the race. So Bristol Motor Speedway goes by many names. Thunder Valley, the last great Coliseum, the world's fastest half mile, the Bull Ring. See Bo Ledbetter now making his way down onto pit road. Surprise move for him. That might actually black flag the 8, because I believe the lights on the pace truck are off, and pit road was actually closed for Ledbetter. Now we see the lights on the pace truck are off, so pit road would have been closed, so a penalty for Ledbetter it looks like it's going to be. So Richard Allen is going to be the control truck. He's going to have to fire off in that restart zone. Daniel Pope to his outside as pace truck makes that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing. Richard Allen, as we've seen all night, the leader getting a great jump here on the start. Eric Tracy now trying to battle on the inside of Dylan Bates. But Bates going to be too strong up on the high side. Brandon Wallace trying to move himself forward. He has Eddie Smith and Kent Hundley right behind. Smith up on the high side. Hundley down on the bottom. And just behind we see Willie Howells and Aaron Johnson battling for position as Richard Allen continues the lead, but Daniel Pope starting to run him down just a little bit. Now Eddie Smith battling side by side, and Aaron Johnson going to move right on by, but here comes Smith trying to fight back again up on the high side. Johnson's going to take that position away, and Willie Howells is going to try to move in as well. Brandon Wallace has a battle on his hands with the 0-2 of Kent Hundley. Hundley rolling that high side very well. And Wallace going to have to give up that 5th position. And as we saw at the top of the screen, a couple drivers already out of the race. Jonah Colbert has retired from the race, as well as Christian Dedman. Of course, Jonah already locked into the next round, so him retiring really doesn't hurt his playoff chances here. Up front, Daniel Pope starting to run down Richard Allen. Dylan Bates and Eric Tracy all within tow as well. Again, Tracy Parsons was in a must-win situation, still sitting down on pit road. Spencer says, let's go Dark Horse Racing. Aaron Adcock says, gotta love new drivers coming through the playoffs. Come on, McLean, get back up there. Oh, and it says, Nonek says, in the first start is always on green. Ledbetter made him jump the start. And that's why he had to go down pit road and serve a penalty. So Ledbetter is back out on track. He is currently 4 laps down. Cody Boehm trying to run down Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith running back in the 8th position, trying to advance on to the next round of the playoffs. And Daniel Pope now has the 09 and Dylan Bates trying to look down to the inside. Bates going to have to tuck back in line. Yeah, Ledbetter is currently 5 laps down, but at Bristol, you could see a series of cautions that could allow him to get himself right back onto the lead lap. Cody Boehm still trying to run down Eddie Smith. Just hanging out on Eddie's back bumper right now. We take a look off the back bumper of Eddie Smith, and Boehm just kind of hanging out right there, trying to make something happen. See Kent Hundley trying to run down Eric Tracy. He's got Aaron Johnson right behind him as well. Kyle Roberts having some issues a couple laps ago. Didn't bring out the caution, but let's see what happened to Roberts here. Oh, just got really loose. Tried to chase it up the track, loses it, catches the inside wall, and because there's nobody coming, that did not bring out a caution. So he was able to get it refired off the racing surface, letting the field by, and no caution, but now caution's on the track, and it looks like it was for the 41 of Ray Page, and that will bring out a Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind as we take a look to see what happened to the 41 of Ray Page. Oh, just loses it right there in front of Chris McLean. McLean gives him a little contact there to send them back up the track the other direction, and fortunately nobody else involved. Everybody able to get woed down as Page got it straightened back up. And that's going to bring everybody down pit road. It looks like Richard Allen's the first truck off pit road. Dylan Bates, Daniel Pope, Chris McLean, Kent Hundley, Brandon Wallace, Aaron Johnson, Eddie Smith, Chris McLean, Cody Bohm. Bohm loses the position on pit road, currently in the 10th position. Chris Heiner, Daniel Cunningham, Mickey Isaac, Alex Veith, and Willie Howells, the top 15. But Richard Allen continues to lead here tonight. So as the field stacks back up, we get ready to go back green flag racing. Richard Allen will be your control truck, with Dylan Bates going to restart outside in position number 2. Unless, of course, Richard Allen takes the outside lane. He hasn't claimed which side he was going to take. Don't forget to join us on Tuesday night as we have a great doubleheader of trucks yet again, as the Doghouse Racing League kicks off at 8 p.m. Eastern in the Shoney's Tuesday Night Truck Series. They'll be racing this week from North Wilkesboro Speedway. So if you like short track racing, check that one out. Then the SCSRA Truck Series starts their playoffs from Talladega. So here we go. Pace truck takes that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Richard Allen comes down to the Geico restart zone. Green flags back in the air. We are back racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and already see our leader getting out to a great jump here. Our leader goes around. No caution, but now a wreck right in front. Big pile up. Our leader tries to shoot the gap, not able to. Catches Kyle Roberts, and the caution is back out. That's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch wreckage rewind. So it really starts with our leader, Richard Allen here, just getting loose off the corner. And everybody's able to sneak on by. Dylan Bates just barely gets by. And Allen able to keep it off the wall, does a great job of saving that truck. A little scrape of the wall there, but nothing that's going to do any damage. And then as that's going on, we saw Mickey Isaac get turned up into the outside wall. Josh Oswald, the 8 of Bo Ledbetter, caught up in this as well. We see Kyle Roberts, Daniel Cunningham, and then we saw the 42 try to shoot a gap here that he just was not able to, and catches Daniel Cunningham, spins him around. So Richard Allen thought he had a hole there to get through, was not able to. Let's ride along with Allen here to see exactly what he saw. We'll ride right along on the roll bar so we can watch the hands. Amazing job trying to hold on to it. And then as he tries to gas it up here to get through the hole and just not able to. So a lot of damage to that 42 machine. A couple drivers coming down pit road. Ray Page, Mickey Isaac, Richard Allen, Kyle Roberts. Of course, we saw Tracy Passion still stuck on pit road. So that's going to give the lead over to the 09 of Dylan Bates. That brings out our third caution of the night. Of course, you know the old saying, cautions breed cautions. Will we see that here tonight? As the field re-racks, restacks, and gets ready to refire here. As the pace truck pulls down onto pit road. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing as Daniel Pope tries to run down Dylan Bates, but Bates gets a great jump. Right behind, we see Eric Tracy, Kate Hundley going at it side by side, door to door into turn number 3. Brandon Wallace up on the high side. Chris McLean going around. Cody Bohm, gets cut off there as a couple of Reaper Racing teammates going at it here. Both drivers in the playoffs. Of course, at the ticker, the drivers that are highlighted in red are your playoff drivers. One driver highlighted in yellow, that is Jonah Kober, already locked into the next round. Eric Tracy gets around Aaron Johnson, although Johnson's trying to fight back on that low side. Hey, this would be a great opportunity to do a little segment I like to call Pump Up the Intensity. Sights and sounds of Bristol Motor Speedway as Dylan Bates continues to lead over Daniel Pope by 0.2 of a second. Saw Alex Veith having some issues a moment ago. Veith just having some connection issues a moment ago, and that's why it says that he crashed. But now it looks like he's got those connection issues figured out as he's continuing to run back in the 15th position. Brandon Wallace has Cody Bohm right there on the back bumper. And Eric Tracy having to hold off Ken Hundley, and Aaron Johnson now taking a look down underneath the O2 of Hundley, but just not able to make that move just happen just yet. As caution is out on the track. I think Mickey Isaac might have been involved in this one. Alex Veith looks like I think he was involved in this as well, so that's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. See if we can see exactly where this happened. We see Mickey Isaac, Daniel Cunningham running side by side. Oh, Isaac. All right, so it did involve Isaac. Let's see if we can find the 51 of Alex Veith here, see if that's what brought it out here tonight. No, it wasn't for Veith because he was... See if we can see from the nose here. Oh, we see one going around up front. That is the 91 of Willie Howells. Yep, we see Howells sideways across the track, so that's what brought out the caution. And a bunch of drivers make their way down on the pit road. Chris McLean stays out. So Dylan Bates gets off of pit road first. Yes, Jonah, it was for the 91. Thank you for the help there in the chat. I just looked down and saw that. But so Chris McLean stays out. Dylan Bates, Daniel Pope, Eric Tracy, Aaron Johnson, your top 5. Ken Hundley, Brandon Wallace, Cody Bohm, Chris Heiner, and Eddie Smith back in 10th. And that's not something we're used to saying. Eddie Smith back in 10th, but he's trying to move himself up into the round of 8. So as we work our 4th caution of the night, the lights are getting ready to go off on the pace truck. We get ready to go 1 lap to go before we go back green flag racing. Chris McLean on 25 lap older tires than Dylan Bates. We'll see if McLean is able to hold off the hard-charging new tires from behind. As they come down to the restart zone, pace truck makes that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Chris McLean enters the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air, and as we've seen all night, that leader gets a great advantage down into turn number 1. Daniel Pope, Dylan Bates side by side as they exit turn number 2. And caution is back on the track. It looks like it might have been for Kyle Roberts. That brings up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind as we take a look to see what exactly brought this caution out. We see Kyle Roberts running here with the 8 of Bedletter, and a little contact is made between those two drivers. Spins the 35 right around in front of, that was the 91. So that's what brought out this latest caution. You know what they say, cautions breed cautions. And wouldn't you know, we actually have a t-shirt for that over at intensitybroadcasting.com. You can find hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs of Intensity gear. You can also find Atlee Atman Weiss's racing gear as well. And some of our novelty t-shirts. And of course, one of our best-selling novelty t-shirts is our Cautions Breed Caution shirt. However, one of our biggest sellers as of late is from our league collection, where you can find your Kinder Farm and Ranch hats, t-shirts, and sweatshirts, along with other Original Rebels Racing League merchandise. So you can check that out down below by clicking the link to intensitybroadcasting.com. So we're going to go one more lap around before the lights on the pace truck shut off. And we get ready to go back green flag racing. So here we go. Lights are off on the pace truck. As we get ready to go back green flag racing here on lap number 62. Pace truck is off. Chris McLean hits the loud pedal. We're back green flag racing here at Bristol. Dylan Bates trying to hold off Daniel Pope down on the low side. And now Bates trying to make a move on McLean on those older tires. McLean able to hold off Bates for now, as Pope now makes a move to the outside. And these two continue to battle side by side as they move around the lap truck of Josh Oswald. Cody Boehm taking a look down to the inside of Ken Hundley. This is a battle for the 6th position. Boehm, another one of those playoff drivers on the bubble, trying to move himself into the round of 8. While that's going on, Chris McLean now has a challenge from Daniel Pope for the lead, but McLean able to hold off the hard-charging Pope on those fresh tire, or those old tires, excuse me. Pope is on much fresher tires than McLean is. McLean's tires are about 25 laps older. But right now, able to hold off Pope for the time being. As Pope battles down to the inside, he's got Dylan Bates right there on the back bumper as they're side by side. And we're just a few laps away from halfway. Pope is going to lead that lap, but McLean fighting hard up on that high side, trying to hold on. And Pope's going to do a little slide job there in front of McLean. Now here comes the 09 of Dylan Bates, trying to move by McLean as well. Just behind Eric Tracy and the 21 of Aaron Johnson here in the mix. Ooh, some contact. Oh, McLean gets turned. Big wreck. Caution is out. We've got a big one here in turn number 1. That's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. We see the 09. Got a little loose. McLean got a little loose off the corner, came down into the 09. 09 gets hooked a little bit, comes back up the track. So McLean and the 09 of Dylan Bates involved in that one. Aaron Johnson caught up in it. The 02 as well. Eric Tracy turned around. Kent Hunley caught up in it. Alex Veith came in at the last second and got a little piece of it as well. So few drivers making their way down onto pit road. We see Daniel Cunningham on pit road. Mickey Isaac down on pit road. He's down and away. Eric Tracy getting some of his damage fixed up. Bo Ledbetter also on, I'm going to take that back. He is not on pit road. Richard Allen, though, is on pit road. And Brandon Wallace making his way down onto pit road. So that's going to give the lead to Cody Bohm. Eddie Smith is going to sit back in second. Christopher Heiner in third. Alex Veith back in fourth. And Ray Page in fifth. So again, Cody Bohm needing a win here to advance and lock himself in comfortably. Jonah Colbert asks, how many cautions is that? That is our 5th caution of the night. Just to verify, I'll throw the tower on here. The tower will tell me which caution. It's a 6th caution. I take that back. I missed writing one down. So here we go. Lights are off on the pace truck. We're re-racked, restacked, and getting ready to refire. We'll put that ticker back up there so you can see where the playoff drivers are running. Cody Bohm leads them back down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Cody Bohm with a big jump over Eddie Smith. And right behind we see Christopher Heiner and Alex Veith going at it for the 3rd position. Daniel Pope up on the high side getting around Ray Page. Ooh, big checkup for Heiner as he's letting all the faster trucks right on by. Cody Bohm has himself almost a 2nd lead over Eddie Smith. Oh, caution is back on the track. Looks like Ray Page might have been caught up in that one as well. So that is caution number 7. That's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. It looks like, see if we can figure out exactly where this started here. We see Ray Page down on the low side. That's Bedletter up on the high side. And just some contact there. Two drivers occupying the same spot. Really can't blame either driver for that. That one looks like a total racing deal. And Ray Page got a little air there. And as they came down into turn number one, McLean just barely sneaking through there. We see drivers checking up. Other drivers not checking up so much. We see Brandon Wallace catch the back of the 41 of Ray Page. So Brandon Wallace involved in this one as well. Eddie Smith down on pit road. So Eddie giving up the second position here to move himself down pit road to get some tires. Jonah Cobra says, wow, Bowman didn't count down for the restart for his boy Eddie, and no, it doesn't look like he did because he was gone as soon as the green flag came out. So just past halfway, working our 7th caution of the night. Cody Bohm going to restart, be our control truck, with Alex Veith starting back in 2nd, then Daniel Pope and Aaron Johnson in row number 2. Dylan Bates, Kent Hundley back in row 3, Chris Heiner, Chris McLean in row 4, then Mickey Isaac and Josh Oswald in row number 5. Lights on the pace truck are off. Cody Bohm chooses the inside. Alex Veith up on the high side. We'll see what kind of launch Bohm can get this time if he can keep himself out in front and try to lock himself into the round of 8 with a win here tonight at Bristol. As they approach the Geico restart zone, Cody Bohm hits the gas. We're back green flag racing. And a big jump for Bohm off of Alex Veith as Daniel Pope already around the 51. Here comes the 09 of Dylan Bates trying to battle with Alex Veith for that 3rd position. Veith, though, holding on up on that high side. Of course, we've seen just how difficult it can be to pass here at Bristol as they're side by side, door to door, and Veith continuing to hold on that high side. Right behind, we see Aaron Johnson trying to make his way through as well as Veith gets cleared by Dylan Bates, and now Johnson's going to move right around Veith as well. And Kent Hundley trying to find his way through. Moving Alex Veith back into the 6th position. Eddie Smith back on pit road. Going a couple laps down, unfortunately, for Smith. He makes his way off of pit road. Cody Bohm continues to lead Aaron Johnson and Dylan Bates battling out. There's a battle for 3rd place. Right now, Bates able to stay out in front as Ken Hundley tries to run down these two as well. Up front, Cody Bohm continues to lead over second place Daniel Pope. It looks like Pope's been just a little bit quicker. Which you can see right there, last 5 laps. For the last 5 laps, Pope has been a little bit quicker than Bohm, and that time by as well, we'll see that Pope is quickly running down the 78 machine. Pope's going to take a look down to the inside. Bohm's going to try to fight off on the high side, though. Now we've got a battle for the lead side by side off of turn number 2. Down into turns 3 and 4. And Pope will take over the lead from Cody Bohm. Cody on a little bit older tires, though. He was last on pit road on lap 52, where Pope was on pit road on lap 73, excuse me. So almost 25 lap fresher tires on that 16 machine. Just behind, we see Kent Hundley running down Aaron Johnson. And that would be a battle for the 4th position as we see Tracy Passions finally making his way back out onto the racetrack. But he is multiple laps down, 82 laps down, in fact. As we have just 50 laps to go here in this event. Dylan Bates and Aaron Johnson side by side, right behind Cody Bohm. Kent Hundley right there as well. Now we're seeing a little bit of green flag racing. And Cody Bohm trying to hold off all these drivers on those older tires. He's doing a good job, currently back in the 2nd position and holding off these hard charging trucks right behind him. The high line here at Bristol is really the preferred line. And when you hold up those drivers running side by side behind you, it's really advantageous to you. Although they are letting Daniel Pope absolutely pull away from them. Although we did see in the first race tonight where Corey Hines actually lapped all the way up to the 3rd place car. So if you can let these drivers stretch out and the leader is on rails like we saw Corey Hines in the first race, it's really easy for them to completely pull away and, as I mentioned, lap almost the entire field. Here comes Dylan Bates, another run down to the low side, trying to get back around Cody Bohm, but that high lane able to roll the corner so much better and allows Bohm to stay out in front of Dylan Bates. Well, further back, we've got a battle back here. Mickey Isaac, Christopher Heiner, Josh Oswald, and Alex Veith. A couple of these drivers, though, are in the playoffs. Oswald, Heiner, Isaac. Drivers trying to move on into the next round of the playoffs. So while Cody Bohm's able to hold off Dylan Bates, now he's got Kent Hundley looking up to the outside of Bates. And as they run side by side, that's going to allow Bohm to pull away a little bit or be able to run just a little bit softer. Run a little bit easier, I should say. Trying to save those tires that we know are about 25 laps older. Josh Oswald, Alex Veith side by side. And Cody Bohm has lost the 2nd position to Kent Hundley. And Aaron Johnson trying to move around the 78 as well, and he will. Dylan Bates, though, falls back to the 5th position. as the lap truck of Bo Ledbetter gets around. Ledbetter is now only 3 laps down. So a couple more cautions could allow Ledbetter to get back on the lead lap and contend for the lead. Daniel Pope continues to lead right now. He is almost 3 seconds ahead of second place Ken Hundley. Alex Veith and Josh Oswald continuing the battle back here. Eddie Smith making his way around. Eddie on much fresher tires, but he is currently 3 laps down. Coming into tonight, he was our points leader, so he is not in jeopardy of missing the next round. So he should be locked into the next round just by starting the race tonight. Although drivers like Cody Boehm here, who are sitting right on the bubble, haven't have a great finish to lock themselves in tonight. Brandon Wallace battling side by side with Josh Oswald. As we know, these two are endurance partners. And Brandon Wallace, Josh Oswald not killing the 99, able to let that 99 truck get right on by and move Wallace up into the 9th position. Eddie Smith looking down underneath Chris Heiner. Eddie trying to drive himself back up to the front to try to get one of his laps back the hard way. Alex Veith and Ray Page battling side by side. Veith in a lot of trouble. He's been falling backwards since he did not pit on the most recent caution. So Daniel Pope has a 3-second lead over second place Ken Hundley, who's back here in traffic. And then Hundley has a 3-second lead over third place Aaron Johnson. And then it's 2 seconds back to Cody Boehm. And then just a half second back from Cody back to Dylan Bates. Mickey Isaac trying to run down Christopher Heiner, trying to take over the 6th position. That would gain him 2 points towards the playoffs. Because every position gained is a point. But when it's a playoff driver, that can almost be 2 points, depending where they stand in the standings. No Deck says, oh, that's dangerous. See Ray Page working around Josh Oswald. Here comes Tracy Passons, who's, again, multiple laps down. Passons is 83 laps down as they run right now. As we have under 25 laps to go, we're coming to 23 laps to go as Pope crosses the line. And we have only 8 trucks left on the lead lap. He was commenting on me panning the camera to the 17 and 99 being side by side. Mickey Isaac still trying to battle with Chris Heiner here, trying to move in to the 6th position. Mickey has a lot of damage to the left side of that truck. Doesn't look like it's hindering him too much, as he's currently trying to run down that one of Christopher Heiner. course, not really sure what happened to Alien Eddie. Currently running back in the 15th position, 3 laps down. As Isaac is trying to gain on this one of Christopher Heiner. As Mickey Isaac has the leader right behind him now, and here comes Daniel Pope down to the inside to put Mickey a lap down. And he's looking to put Christopher Heiner a lap down as well. That would put only 5 trucks on the lead lap. Oh, we got a wreck on the Speedway. Brandon Wallace is around along with the 91. No caution. They're able to get it going now. Caution comes out. It looks like it was for the 91 of Willie Howells. Trying to turn around and went over the line to bring the caution out. That brings up another Kinder Farm and Ranch wreckage rewind. So we take a look to see exactly what happened with these two drivers. Brandon Wallace down to the inside. Howells to the outside. Down into the corner, and, you know, I'm going to kind of chalk that one up. Looks like net code there. And as they come spinning down, they keep it down on the apron. When Howells tries to turn it around and get back running, that does bring out the caution. So, Cody Boehm stays out. Ooh, Mickey Isaac runs into Boehm there, and now Boehm's going to make his way down on the pit road, along with Mickey Isaac. Daniel Pope just came down pit road. He will be your leader. As we saw Cody Boehm, Mickey Isaac pitting on the backstretch pits here, I do believe. Well, looks like they are on the front stretch pits. So Boehm is down and away back in the 5th position. Daniel Pope, your leader. Kent Hundley, 2nd. Aaron Johnson, 3rd. Dylan Bates and Cody Boehm, your top 5. Mickey Isaac back in 6th. Daniel Cunningham in 7th. Brandon Wallace out in front of the pace truck, so he's going to get one of his laps back. So we will have only 6 trucks on the lead lap when it's all said and done. Although I believe maybe 7. I think Cunningham, yeah, Cunningham is up in front. He's going to get the wave around along with Joshua Oswald, Brandon Wallace, Ray Page. So we'll see how it cycles around here. So we have under 10 laps to go here at Bristol. Pace truck pulls off on the pit road. Daniel Pope hits that loud pedal. We're back, green flag racing. Cody Bohm, now that he's on even tires as the leader, is trying to make something happen here to advance on to the next round of the playoffs. He's going to dive in deep, trying to run down Aaron Johnson as the caution is back out on the track, and it looks like it is for the one of Christopher Heiner. That's going to bring out our 9th caution of the night. Let's take a look to see what happened to Heiner. Down on the low side. Oh, he just loses it all by himself, and Bedletter just nowheres to go. Finishes off the one, spins him right around. Oh, Chris McLean gets a little piece as well. They're able to keep going. So we're going to try it all over again. Of course, while we've got a moment, let's talk about one of our great partners here at Intensity Broadcasting, the Butt Kicker. It's an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel ultra-low frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus, that's what I have, is the new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. As I mentioned earlier, not just do they have great products for sim racing, but they make subwoofers and haptics that you can add into your couch or around your couch so you can feel your movies and music. It's a great product. You can check it out, figure out which product is right for you. As I said, I have the Gamer Plus attached to my office chair, and it makes a big difference being able to feel things such as gear shifts, engine revs, the rumple strips at road courses, when the tires lock up or start to slide. So extra piece of equipment that gives you instant feedback to have. So you can check that out at the link below. Also, we want to thank our great sponsors here. Of course, Holl Heating and Sheet Metal, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Peg Leg Felts, Thunderstruck Super Series, and Kinder Farm and Ranch. All make this possible here tonight. So we're going to have a 3-lap shootout, unless the caution comes back out again, to settle it, with Daniel Pope in the lead, Kent Hundley in second, Cody Bohm, Aaron Johnson in row number 2. Mickey Isaac, Daniel Bates in row number 3. Pace truck pulling on the pit road. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing. Down into turn number 1. Pope with a good jump yet again. Hundley's going to tuck right back in line. Cody Bohm trying to work around the outside of Aaron Johnson to get himself up onto the podium and secure his position into the round of 8. 2 laps to go. Can Bohm clear as we got a battle up here? Ken Hundley looking down into the inside of Pope as they come side by side. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Pope and Hundley side by side. Cody Bohm right there waiting in the wings in case something happens. He gets turned. Pope gets turned. Hundley to the lead. Cody Bohm in second. The battle for third, it's going to be Dylan Bates. But Ken Hundley gets into Pope, turns him around, and gets the win here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And that is going to get some tempers flaring, I am sure. As Pope was such a dominating force in this race. And Hundley on the fresh tires able to run him down A little bump and run there at the end. We'll have to go back and look at that after the celebration because I want to get another view of that. But we see the traditional Rebels Demolition Derby here at the end. But your winner here tonight, the 02 of Ken Hundley. And I want to go back and take a look at this to see exactly what happened here between these two. They're running each other very tight here off the corner. Hundley, I think he just misjudged if he was clear or not because that was a very, very close. It just kind of looks like a racing deal. So we can take a look from a different view here. Maybe the chopper can give us a little better view of what happened here as we saw these two were battling side by side. Yeah, just looks like just a misjudge there by the 0-2. Sends Pope down into the inside fence. So tough break for Pope. But let's take a look at the results here tonight. Ken Hundley gets the win. Cody Boehm comes home second. Dillian Bates back in third. Aaron Johnson and Mickey Isaac round out your top five. Josh Oswald brings it home sixth. Brandon Wallace in seventh. Daniel Cunningham, Ray Page, and Daniel Pope brings home in 10th. Christopher Heiner in 11th. Chris McLean back in 12th. And Alex Veith, Eddie Smith, and Bo Ledbetter, your top 15. Willie Howells comes home 16th. Eric Tracy, Tracy Passons, Kyle Roberts, Richard Allen, your top 20. Jonah Cobert, 21st. And Christian Dedman round out the field here tonight. Hopefully I can get an updated points bracket so we can see who moves on next week while the interviews are going on. But let's start with our third place finisher here tonight, the 09 of Dylan Bates. Dylan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Got you, man.
Man, great run for you tonight. Had a great battle going there the last 50 or so laps with all the drivers back there. It must have been a blast out there tonight in the on this tricky Bristol track.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Got tangled up early there with the 5 car, I believe, and made me use my fast repair, and then I didn't take tires on that pit stop, and I definitely should have, and I just lost touch with the leaders on old tires and got saved by a late yellow there and got back, started in the top 5 and made a couple passes there on the green, white checker and ended up third.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of attrition here tonight. The first race of the doubleheader, we saw only 4 cautions. We saw twice as many here in this race. Were you kind of surprised to see that many cautions, or is that just Bristol?
Honestly, that's just Bristol. The cars aren't the easiest to drive, and you're going fast in a really small track. You're gonna bump and bang a little bit, and some feelings will probably get hurt, but part of it, I guess.
For sure. Well, great run here tonight, getting yourself on the podium. Great run for a lot of drivers here tonight. We normally don't see, but before I let you go, anyone want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, man, just all the guys back at Superior Performance Motorsports, keeping these iRacing hot rods going good on the open setup side and having fun over here in the fixed setup stuff. Was hoping to go back to back this week, but couldn't happen. Couldn't make it happen.
For sure. But two podiums in a row, nothing to sneeze at as well. So great job for you tonight, and good luck the rest of the season. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks, Josh.
So that was your third place driver. I don't know where Cody is. See if he's going to pop himself down into the room here. Doesn't look like he is. So let's bring in your winner tonight here, the 02 of Ken Hundley. Oh, never mind. Cody's right here. Let's bring in our second place finisher, Cody Boehm. Cody, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Man, great run for you tonight. Just a little bit short, but looks like fortunately enough to get you into the round of 8. So a great run for you tonight. That was kind of the goal, to move on to the playoffs. A little bit of a strategy though. Didn't take tires, got out into the lead. Were able to hold on those a little bit on those old tires. How were you able to? Were you kind of surprised that those old tires were as good as they were there towards the end?
Yes and no. I mean, I wasn't that much older tires. I think it was like 10, 15 laps maybe, but I mean, towards the end of the run, it was definitely showing. But pretty much stayed out for the track position and hopefully get a bonus point for leading the lap because I saw everybody. A lot of people had some pretty bad races, so I wanted to capitalize on it.
For sure, it was actually a 25 lap difference in tires between you guys. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I know it probably didn't feel like that on the track, but yeah, now that you know that, now you understand why I said what I said.
Yeah.
But man, some wild finish there at the end as well. You were right there in the mix of things, having a great race with some of those guys. Did you know you would need to where you need to finish here to move on to the next round?
Well, I was eighth, so I just figured I would just had to finish in the top 8 no matter what, and then hopefully the rest would work itself out. But yeah, I ended up getting pretty lucky with dodging some wrecks and whatnot. But everything ended up working out.
For sure. Well, again, a fantastic finish for you here tonight, coming home P2. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the boss man, Garrett Kinder, for letting me on his team. And, we've had a really good season here so far, and I want to keep the momentum going. I want to thank you for, doing a great broadcast as always. And uh, Griff and everybody for running the league. And, it's just so much fun to do this every weekend. Uh, just have a great time.
Awesome, man. I just realized I put the wrong points up on the screen, so I apologize, folks at home. But man, again, congratulations. Great job tonight, and we look forward to seeing what you can do in the round of 8.
Thank you. Me too.
Have a great night.
You too.
So that was your second place finisher, Cody Bohm. Let's bring in your winner here tonight, Ken Hundley. Ken, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, sir. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. Great run for you here tonight, getting the win. A little bit of a controversial there at the end. Looks like you thought you were clear and just weren't clear enough there on Pope. Can you walk us through that last lap there?
I got loose off of Turu, tried to stay in it, and I just got into his left rear there. That's what happened there. That was my fault.
Gotcha.
He had the better car than that. On that long run, we didn't need that caution. But It happens.
For sure. But a great win for you here tonight. And we were talking a lot of attrition here tonight. Were you kind of surprised we had as many cautions as we had tonight, or did you kind of figure, this being Bristol, that the cautions would fall the way they did?
I figured we'd had a little more caution, to be honest with you, but it was pretty clean for the most part there. I thought better than an official race.
Yeah, we had that long green flag run as well. That really kind of shook things up a little bit. Drivers are wearing out their tires. How was the tire wear out there? Because it seemed like once you got out there for about 25 laps, the trucks really started to sliding around.
I thought I was real good before the caution there. I just got caught up behind the 78 and I think the 09 and 21 there, racing hard. We had a pretty good race there going for second place. And Pope just got out there and I kind of killed my right front, so I was just kind of riding there, hoping for a caution to come out.
Well, great job getting the win tonight. Before we let you go, Kent, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here?
I got to give a shout out to my sponsor, School of Sim Racing, Tommy Brandon over there. We give tutorials, guides. We have free setups, and we also have memberships to our setups on the oval and dirt side. Be sure to check that out. SchoolofSimRacing.net. Also like to thank Shock Eye Racing Performance, Ledbetter Performance, Speed Ranch, Celebrity Hot Dogs, and Miller Family Trucking. And I also like to thank my wife and my son. They're probably watching or asleep right now. I think they're asleep in the back room there, pretty much. And I like to thank Bo, Aaron, Richard, Tanner Tomasi, and Willie Howe over there helping me out during the week.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the win. We look forward to seeing what you can do for the rest of the season. I know you're not in the playoffs, but trying to get those wins. So good luck the rest of the season out.
I appreciate me.
So that was your winner, Ken Hundley. And yes, I realize I put the wrong points up there originally. I apologize. I thought I had them in the right spot, but they went somewhere else. But now we've got the right points out there. And Eddie Smith, Chris McLean, Cody Bohm, Brandon Wallace, Daniel Cunningham, Christopher Heiner, Mickey Isaac, and Jonah Colbert will be the 8 drivers moving on to the round of 8. Next week, we will be moving on to Homestead, Miami, then Kansas and Richmond for the round of 8. And then we finish our season at Atlanta. So a wild finish coming up to the season. You're not going to want to miss it. So tune in here on Intensity Broadcasting every Sunday night for our truck doubleheader, along with every night here on Intensity Broadcasting. We go live. Don't forget to hit that little notification bell so you know when we do go live. Don't forget to like it, follow, and subscribe. Really means a lot to us. And of course, we look forward to seeing how the rest of the season plays out. Again, congratulations to Kent Hundley and all of the drivers who moved on to the round of 8, both here in the Sunday Night Rebels Truck Series and the Outlaw Series earlier. And as always, thank you for joining us here tonight. As our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.